So this will be a quick lesson to run through some of the advanced Google or other search engine techniques that you could be using that will massively save you time in doing research in a lot of areas. I'll go through them quickly. There will be a paper handout to go along with this. The first thing is Google. You type stuff in and you search it. So if I was to search for water dragons, I would have about 600 million results. What that's actually done, although the examples shown have the two words together, that's found me every time that the word water and the word dragon appear in a document. So some science fiction, for example, will have mentions of that. They'll be further down. But if we want to restrict it to just the times when it only has those two words in that exact space, we can narrow that down to a mere 3 million results because we've eliminated all of those others. So this is kind of handy. Sometimes you want to know an exact phrase of something that we're looking for. So rather than the word spent somewhere in a document and the word conviction somewhere in the document, putting it in inverted commas means that it's looking for that exact phrase. And you'll notice that a lot of the examples here, you can actually see the preview there. That's the exact phrase. So step number one, remember inverted commas are going to save you a whole lot of effort. Number two is you can actually use a minus sign or a dash to eliminate certain things. So I don't want any mention of anything that uses the UK. That narrows my search way down from where it was a moment ago, from 116,000 to only 37. And if I wanted to, I could also go eliminate US. The tricky bit with that is that that's also eliminated every web page with the word us in it. So that's not our most effective way of finding stuff. We could look at stuff that includes our word instead, our country. 31,000, that's not too bad. All of these websites will mention the word Australia. Most of them are actually Australian ones. Some of them aren't. So, step number two, we've got, well, three. We've got inverted commas, we've got minus signs, which I'd say to use sparingly, but they can be really useful sometimes. Another way is to actually just search within one particular website. So we could say only find me websites that end in AU. That's narrowed our search down, and you'll notice that every one of these ends in an AU. I actually only want government websites, Australian government websites. I only want the ones that end in .gov.au. That's taken me from 24,000 down to 17,000. That's only giving me Australian government sites. And in fact, if I only wanted ACT government sites, then I could narrow it right down to a couple of thousand. And I'd find specific legislation there. If I only wanted to find stuff from the ACT legislation website, then that will narrow it down even further. And we can do that for any website or any domain extension. So we could actually look in the Uniting Care website, and there's no mention of it there, but that's the way that we would use it. So a site search, a particular site search for those government websites, means you're searching only for legitimate Australian or even ACT government websites to find exact phrases that we're after. That is going to save us a massive amount of time. A couple of other tips that may or may not be useful to you, but sometimes you only want, or you're looking for a particular service, a particular file. You can actually do a file type, PPT, searching for a PowerPoint, and there are none on that website. But maybe here we've got 19 PowerPoint files that mention the specific term spent conviction. Sometimes this is useful because you know that what you're after is somewhere out there in the internet on a PDF file, and you'll notice that each of these is only a PDF file. So remember, we can use site searches, and that will search only within that specific website. We can use inverted commas, and that'll search for that exact phrase within that. Remember, we can also use the minus symbol, but I'd say use that spare